The most sought-after resting place of a conqueror who forged an empire stretching from Greece to India has remained an echo, an absence, a gaping void in our understanding for over 2 millennia. Alexander the Great's tomb, once a global pilgrimage site, simply vanished. Not destroyed, not recorded as looted, but eradicated from history's sight. It's as if an entire civilization conspired to erase it. Today, we will trace the documented journey of this legendary tomb from its initial celebrated placement to its puzzling disappearance. We will uncover the political maneuvering and historical accounts that point to its true original location and explore the compelling theories behind its unprecedented vanishing act. Prepare to confront a historical paradox that could fundamentally alter your perception of ancient power and its most guarded secrets. The year is 323 BC. Alexander the Great, at the apex of his empire, breathes his last in Babylon, possibly due to illness, though whispers of poison have never truly subsided. His body, defying the intense Mesopotamian heat, remained untouched by decomposition for an astonishing 6 days, a fact that only amplified the existing legends of his divine heritage. This preservation fueled a desperate scramble among his generals for control of his remains, a potent symbol of legitimacy and power. It was Ptolemy I Soter, one of Alexander's most trusted companions, and eventually the founder of Egypt's Ptolemaic dynasty, who seized the opportunity. He audaciously diverted Alexander's funeral cortege, initially intended for Aigai, the traditional Macedonian royal burial ground. This was no mere act of mourning, it was a brazen political statement. Ptolemy understood that possessing the body of the greatest conqueror in history would cement his claim to Alexander's legacy and, crucially, to the control of Egypt. He transported the elaborate sarcophagus to Memphis, Egypt's ancient capital, where Alexander was interred. This strategic maneuver is vividly chronicled by historians like Diodorus Siculus and Quintus Curtius Rufus, whose accounts from the 1st century BC provide crucial insights into this foundational moment. Within a few decades, Ptolemy II Philadelphus, keen to further solidify the Ptolemaic dynasty's connection to its illustrious founder, undertook a grand relocation. Alexander's body was moved from Memphis to its final majestic resting place within the burgeoning city of Alexandria, the very metropolis Alexander himself had established. This new mausoleum, universally known as the Soma or the Sema, quickly ascended to become the most revered pilgrimage site in the Hellenistic world. Its grandeur and sacred status attracted a succession of emperors and dignitaries for centuries. Augustus, Julius Caesar, Caligula, and Septimius Severus, all Roman emperors, made pilgrimages to the Soma, paying profound homage to the man whose conquests had reshaped the world. Coins minted in Alexandria frequently depicted the tomb, underscoring its pivotal role in the city's identity. Strabo, the renowned Greek geographer, meticulously described its architectural magnificence and central placement. The last well-documented visit occurred in 215 AD, when the Roman Emperor Caracalla reportedly removed Alexander's tunic and ring as personal tributes, though some interpret this as a form of desecration. After Caracalla's visit, the historical accounts of the Soma grow increasingly sparse, then abruptly, chillingly vanish. The Roman Empire, in a monumental shift, began its inexorable embrace of Christianity. Pagan monuments across the empire started to fall out of favor, systematically closed or repurposed. What could possibly make such a monumental, historically significant site simply cease to exist in all documented records? The most baffling aspect of this entire enigma isn't just that the tomb of Alexander the Great was lost, but how it was lost without leaving so much as a definitive trace. Throughout history, major temples, vast libraries, even entire cities have been buried by advancing sands or shattered by devastating earthquakes. Yet, almost invariably, some fragment, some identifiable ruin, some archaeological whisper of their existence remains. For Alexander's tomb, however, there is nothing. no explicit record detailing its destruction, no account of its final resting place, no known artifacts positively identified as originating from its hallowed chambers. The official silence emanating from the Roman Empire is particularly unsettling. Roman chroniclers and administrators were meticulous record keepers. Their archives meticulously documented everything from military campaigns to public works. Yet, after Caracalla, these same rigorous records suddenly cease mentioning the Soma. Alexandria itself, a city famed for its scholars and its vibrant intellectual life, equally falls silent on its most celebrated landmark. Why this profound collective amnesia? The Soma was constructed to endure. It was not some temporary resting place. It stood for centuries, weathering countless earthquakes, surviving numerous political upheavals, and bearing witness to the rise and fall of entire dynasties. For such a robust and historically critical structure to simply disintegrate into nothingness without a narrative explanation defies all logic. The Edict of Thessalonica in 380 AD unequivocally established Nicene Christianity as the official state religion of the Roman Empire. This paradigm shift unleashed a wave of religious fervor, leading to the systematic closure and, in many cases, the destruction of pagan sites. The brutal murder of Hypatia of Alexandria, a prominent Neoplatonist philosopher, in 415 AD, serves as a stark, tragic symbol of the violent suppression of classical paganism in the city. Here lies a profound contradiction. While pagan temples were often razed with zeal, the destruction of such sites was almost always recorded, often with triumphant religious proclamations. A site of Alexander's immense historical and cultural significance, housing the body of a man revered as divine for centuries, should have been either preserved, recontextualized into a Christian framework, or at the very least, its ultimate destruction documented for posterity. Instead, a profound silence. Furthermore, the utter lack of looting records is incredibly telling. When a monumental structure is destroyed, especially one of such immense perceived value, it is almost invariably plundered. Priceless artifacts and precious offerings from the tomb should have inevitably surfaced in subsequent markets, inventories, or private collections. Yet nothing identifiable, nothing concrete, nothing that has passed through the hands of looters or merchants and been recorded as originating from Alexander's tomb has ever appeared in any known archaeological or historical context. This absence of evidence is itself a compelling form of evidence. Was its vanishing a deliberate act of concealment rather than mere destruction or neglect? The possibility that such a critical historical artifact could be actively suppressed, not just lost, completely recontextualizes the entire desperate search. One prominent theory posits the complete destruction of the Soma due to religious fanaticism. Supporters of this view argue that Christian zealots, viewing Alexander as a potent pagan idol and a symbol of the old order, systematically demolished his tomb. Evidence for this theory often points to historical accounts of the destruction of other major pagan structures in Alexandria, most notably the Serapeum, which housed part of the Great Library. However, this theory struggles with a crucial absence: the total lack of documentation regarding such a monumental destruction. Unlike the Serapeum, whose demise was a well-recorded and even celebrated event in early Christian narratives, the end of Alexander's tomb is shrouded in an inexplicable silence. No triumphant accounts, no condemnations from either side, just nothing. Another theory suggests a natural disaster as the culprit. Proponents point to Alexandria's known history of devastating earthquakes and tsunamis. The city has indeed endured multiple severe seismic events over the centuries, and it is a documented fact that significant portions of ancient Alexandria now lie submerged beneath the Mediterranean waves. However, even submerged ruins typically leave behind extensive archaeological evidence, not complete erasure. Archaeological dives in the city's ancient harbors, while uncovering fascinating artifacts, have yet to yield definitive clues or a credible location for the Soma. A powerful natural event might collapse a structure, but it rarely eradicates all traces, nor does it typically silence all historical records simultaneously. Perhaps the most compelling and unsettling theory involves a secret relocation and deliberate hiding. Given the profound historical silence, many modern researchers and enthusiasts lean toward this possibility. The initial clandestine removal of Alexander's body from Memphis to Alexandria sets a precedent for such a maneuver. The increasingly hostile political climate of growing Christian dominance could certainly have provided ample motivation for a secret move, perhaps to safeguard it from desecration or destruction by religious persecution. Perhaps to another, more remote location for safekeeping, a location known only to a select, trusted few. However, this theory raises profound questions. Who would possess the authority, the immense resources, and the unwavering motive to conduct such an elaborate, entirely undocumented clandestine operation? Furthermore, how could absolute secrecy have been maintained for over 2,000 years? And if it was moved for safekeeping, why was it never later revealed when conditions became more favorable? The idea of such perfect, enduring concealment is almost as incredible as the tomb's outright disappearance. Official archaeological missions in Alexandria, sponsored by various international bodies and universities, continue their extensive work, but have yet to confirm any credible site for Alexander's tomb. Even, for instance, the Greek archaeological mission led by Dr. Calliope Lempos Papacosta, which has extensively excavated the royal quarter of Alexandria for decades, has explicitly stated in its published findings reports that Alexander's tomb remains an officially unsolved mystery, with no definitive physical evidence uncovered. This isn't merely speculative conjecture, it is a documented, ongoing investigation with no resolution, underscoring the deep, persisting enigma. Consider the profound implications of this mystery. Consider the profound implications. It's not just a lost artifact, it's a gaping hole in the narrative of a world-altering figure. If the tomb of one of history's most famous conquerors, a site visited by emperors and revered for centuries, can simply vanish without a trace, then what else do we fundamentally misunderstand about the past? What other crucial pieces of history have been deliberately obscured or simply erased from our collective memory by forces we can no longer identify? This isn't just about Alexander, it's about the fragility of historical truth itself and the unsettling realization that even the most documented facts can be utterly eradicated by power, time, or an agenda we may never fully comprehend. It forces you to question the very solidity of the historical record, to look at ancient history not as a set of established facts, but as a mosaic riddled with deliberate omissions and unsettling silences. The legend of Alexander the Great's lost tomb persists not as a relic of forgotten times, but as a living testament to history's most audacious secrets. We have confronted the chilling reality that some truths are not merely hidden, but are meticulously, strategically erased from the annals of time. Continue this exploration with us. Next, we journey into an enigma that challenges the very boundaries of human understanding, revealing an ancient anomaly that science itself still struggles to contain.